What if your readers don't actually need more summer plans, but permission to slow down without feeling like they're falling behind? Let's get inside your readers' heads with your Q2 podcast content as a host and guest. And this is part 3, our finale of our 3-part miniseries. And today we're stepping into June. School's out, summer's starting, the calendar finally has some breathing room. And for a lot of writers, that turns into a slow fade. They post a little less, pitch a little less, show up a little less. Because summer is supposed to be slower, right? But your reader, she doesn't stop needing your message just because the weather changed. June is one of the best months to batch ahead your content for, to be consistent because so many other voices will go quiet. And the podcasts that usually crowd your reader's feed take breaks. Her inbox gets a little lighter, and when you show up with content that's real and helpful in this season, not just content for content's sake, you stand out more, not less. So let's run June through the 3S method: struggle, support, and showing up. When it comes to the struggle in June, your reader might be wrestling with the in-between. The school year's over, summer has started, but her new rhythm hasn't quite settled in yet. She might have kids home who need her in a different way than usual. She might be feeling the weight of Father's Day, especially if that's a complicated holiday for her. She might have just watched someone she loves graduate, and now she's in the funny no man's land of what comes next. There's also the longer days and the pressure that comes with them. Summer feels like it's supposed to look a certain way, right? Vacations, family time, rest. And if she's not getting those things, or if she's getting them and she still feels a little empty, she needs encouragement in that struggle. And for the reader who's also a business owner or writer herself, June is the month when momentum is easy to lose. She took a little break and then a little more, and now she's wondering how to get back on track. And if your book speaks to discipline, purpose, or community, she needs your message more in June than you might think. Now for support, how is your reader trying to support a loved one struggling in the month of June? Father's Day often brings up the same problems as Mother's Day. She might be figuring out how to honor a father who wasn't perfect, or how to help her kids navigate Father's Day when things are hard. Maybe she's getting a divorce. She might be supporting a child heading off to college. And then think about showing up. How is your reader showing up for her friends, her coworkers, and those she serves in June? She's the one helping others stay grounded when the usual rhythms are gone. Nonprofit donations drop, church attendance dips, Bible study groups pause, and the structured community support others count on isn't as available. But your message, the one you wrote the book about, can give her the words she needs to share with those she's showing up for in June. So let's talk about the 4 content options one more time, because June has a unique twist on each of them. You might be looking ahead to summer and planning to take a break from guesting, or a break from your own show. Or maybe you're planning to repurpose old episodes on your own podcast to fill up your feed while you take a summer break. You do what's best for you this summer, but always think about what's best for your readers and listeners, and what do they need from you this summer. So for episode ideas as a host or guest, lean into the theme of staying grounded when the rhythm changes. What does your reader need to hold on to when the structure falls away? Boundaries and a schedule. You might also think about Father's Day. It doesn't have to be your primary topic, but a passing reference to what this time of year brings up for people can make a listener feel seen in a way that nothing else does. And for a pop-up bonus episode on your own show, June is actually a favorite time to record one because it doesn't have to be polished. It can be a quick personal, hey, it's the start of summer. Here's something to encourage you as your schedule changes. It's just short and real. That kind of episode is the one people listen to and send to their friends. Plus, it meets your readers in their struggle right now, even if you're popping it up between repurposed episodes, especially if those repurposed episodes promote someone else's book. So for adding a seasonal talking point when you're a guest, June gives you 2 great angles. So one could be the summer slowdown and how easy it is to drift from the things that were helping you during the school year, right? The other is the idea of thinking about starting over because summer has that feeling of, we're wiping the slate clean. Your reader might be ready to try something new in June in a way she wasn't ready for in January. So meet her where she is. And again, you don't have to say it's June or it's summer. Just use that theme of the season to put your content in. And if you're creating a short standalone podcast, summer is actually the best time to promote it because people have less time to listen to longer episodes like they do during the school year. They have short bursts of on-the-go listening time, if they're traveling or running their kids back and forth to camps. And one of my own most popular series ever was over a summer where I aired weekly super short episodes. So your short podcast doesn't have to cover everything in your book. It's just a 6-episode series that supports your reader in her struggle, gives her something practical she can use, and makes her want more, which is hopefully buying your book. 4 to 6 episodes, just one link already in her podcast app. That's it. All right, as we wrap up this Get Inside Your Readers' Heads mini-series, let's remember that you've been thinking about your book and your message and your readers for a really long time. And sometimes we're so deep inside of all that, it's hard to zoom out and ask, what does my reader actually need to hear right now, today, in this season? And that's what this whole series was about. It's not about changing your message, but it's learning to carry it into the conversations your readers are already having, whether that's in their heads or over coffee with their friends. So again, think about the 3S method when you're putting together content. Struggle, support, and showing up. That way, if your listeners that hear you on a podcast, they don't immediately identify with, this is something I struggle with, they're going to immediately think, but I have somebody I support that does, that I love and support. Or I have a friend or a coworker I'm showing up for. They have this struggle. So I need to pay attention and find out about this resource I can share with them. It's not about being a better book marketer. It's about being a better steward of the message God gave you to share. And when you do that with intention, your readers are going to feel it and they're going to share it. So just a reminder, if you haven't grabbed the free Q2 brainstorming guide yet, it's linked in the show notes. No more excuses that marketing takes too much time. Let me help you speed it up so you can get back to what you do best, writing books. And remember, these ideas can also be used for sharing your message on your blog, your social media, and your emails this season. They make great timely hooks when you're repurposing old content too. Just make it more applicable to what's going on today. So I pray the series was helpful. It was so fun to put together, and I'm planning to repeat it every quarter to help you brainstorm fresh ideas for getting inside your readers' heads and connecting your God-given message to their needs. And as you're thinking of how you'll be blessing your readers this quarter, don't forget about what you personally need to this season. In our next episode, my new friend, Allison Bixby, is going to join me to share how journaling can be one of the most important ways to stay connected with God through our own struggles and as we stay busy supporting and showing up for others too. Thanks for tuning into Book Marketing Mania. And as always, I'll be there for you next episode to help you reach and serve your readers one podcast at a time. See you then.